The views expressed by the host on this program documented to be almost always right, 99.7% of the time. Great to have you here, folks, as always. And I am your guiding light, Rush Limbaugh. Here at the Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies, telephone number 800-282-2882. And the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. Have soundbites 9 and 10 standing by, Mike. One thing, ladies and gentlemen, on this Todd Aiken business, we've had a couple calls from Missouri today from people who support Aiken and want him to stay in. And one of them, a lady from Lake of the Ozarks, made the point that she doesn't want the Republican establishment weighing in on this and forcing out somebody who won an election and replacing them with one of their own establishment candidates. And she knows, I think, even she acknowledged that Claire McCaskill and the Democrats did what they could to secure Aiken as the Republican that they would face, that McCaskill would face, because they think that they'll be able to tar and feather Aiken as this right-wing kook pro-lifer. And remember, they all think that every Republican and conservative is a right-wing kook and pro-lifer. And they think that's a winning ticket for them. Now, those of you out there who are supportive of Aiken, I want you to understand something, at least from me, speaking for myself here. Those who are hoping that Aiken sees the light and withdraws, this is not about abortion. It's not. No, I'll just speak for myself here. Hoping that he decides to step aside here has nothing to do, as far as I'm concerned, with his views on abortion. I don't know about other people in this, but as far as I'm concerned, that's not the problematic thing for me regarding Mr. Aiken. And it's not a desire on my part to have social issues not be part of a campaign. I'm not afraid of social issues being part of a campaign. Jeff Bell wrote a book. We've talked about the book on this program. Social issues actually have been factors in Republican victories. And he documented it with polling data, election data, and results. So this is not about that to me. This is about something entirely different, and that is qualifications, and this was an absolutely ridiculous thing to say. To start qualifying rape in any way legitimate. I know he apologized for it, but it's still an indication that there's more there that could potentially bubble up that could be harmful. This is, to me, this is all about saving the country. This is all about being bigger than any one person. This is about winning the White House. This is about winning the Senate and holding the House of Representatives. This is about the future of the country and what kind of country it's going to be. And I need people that can win elections and then do the right thing afterwards. I don't want a Joe Biden on our side. Now, the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, you go out, you say stupid things, you become vice president on the Democrat side. We don't need any unforced errors. We have to play it so close to the vest. There is a double standard, and yep, it's unfair, but it exists, and it's something that we have to acknowledge. Now, there's a right way to deal with it, and there's a wrong way to deal with it. You can't run from it. You can't whine about it. You can't cry about it. And you do have to stand up for yourself. There's some people, I've gotten emails from people say, Rush, I like this. This is this guy standing up to his macaca moment. George Allen should have stood up to his macaca moment. Aiken standing up to this. Finally, Aiken is saying, to hell with it, I'm not going to be macaca. I don't think that's what Aiken's doing. I mean, you might want to transfer that aspect of what he's... I don't get that sense. But I just want to share what I'm getting emails of that regard. But for those of you who support Aiken, I just want you to know, abortion has nothing to do with this. And I think most people who are hoping that he pulls out, it is nothing to do with abortion or wanting to repudiate social issues or social conservatism at all. Speaking for myself, just so you know. Do you hear about, so we're talking about stupid things that people say, and maybe stupid people. Mayor Doomberg of New York said last week that the federal government should assign immigrants to live in cities like Detroit, and if they survive 7 years, then make them citizens. He said all the federal government's got to do is say, we're going to welcome you here in this country, first come, first serve, families, if you're willing to come here under the following terms. Bloomberg was in Boston. It was August 14th, he said this. We're going to assign you a city. Let's say Detroit. You got to agree to not be arrested and not take any federal, state, or city money, and you got to live there for 7 years. And if you survive 7 years in Detroit, we will make you and your family full citizens. Honest to God, he said it. Now, is anybody suggesting get this guy out of there? It's Cybercast News Service. Make immigrants live in Detroit. If they survive 7 years, make them citizens. The mayor of New York City said that. And I don't recall this. Now, he said this back on August the 14th. He was in Boston when he said it. It's a week ago that he said it. I'm not aware of anybody saying, oh, my God. Oh, Jesus, guy's a Republican. Oh, my God, is he embarrassing us? Oh, geez. Oh, we got to get rid of Bloomberg. I don't even think anybody in Detroit said that. How would you like to be the mayor of Detroit, Dave Bing, and you get up and the mayor of New York says, hey, all you illegals, we're going to send you to Detroit. You survived 7 years there, not taking any federal or state money, and you qualify for citizenship. This guy needs to be moved into the Joe Biden Memorial Insanity Clinic. And there is going to be one of those if this keeps up. We're going to need a home for insane, ludicrous, dumb politicians. Name it after Biden. Speaking of Biden, let's go back. Let's turn back the hands of time. Let's go back to the graveyard of forgotten favorites, to our audio archives, October 12th of 2011 in Flint, Michigan, at the downtown fire department. Here was Vice President Bite Me.
In 2008, when Flint had 265 sworn officers on the police force, there were 35 murders and 91 rapes in this city. In 2010, when Flint had only 144 police officers, the murder rate climbed to 65, and rapes, just to pick two categories, climbed to 229. In 2011, you now only have 125 shields. God only knows what the numbers will be this year for Flint if we don't rectify it. And God only knows what that number would have been had we not been able to get a little bit of help to you.
So last year, our esteemed vice president made an outrageous remark about rape, blaming it on Republicans, and somehow this did not damage the Democrat brand. Todd Aiken is destroying the Democrat brand, right? That's a Republican brand. Biden, they never say, oh, that's old Joe. It's just Joe. Now, I know there's some Democrats who wish Biden would be sent packing, but they are few, and they are not afforded a big soapbox. That was October 12th. On October 18th, Biden went to Philadelphia, University of Pennsylvania, after a roundtable with police chiefs from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. He was discussing the impact of budget cuts on their ability to effectively police their communities. And he was talking about the American Jobs Act, and Biden said it again.
Let me tell you, it's not temporary when that 911 call comes in and a woman's being raped, if a cop shows up in time to prevent the rape, it's not temporary to that woman. It's not temporary to the guy whose store is being held up and there's a gun pointed at his head. If the cop shows up and he's not killed, that's not temporary to that store owner. Give me a break. Temporary.
So in Flint, Biden essentially blames Republicans for increased rapes. A week later, goes into Philadelphia and doubles down on it. Rank utter stupidity, embarrassingly so. But nobody said that old Joe was damaging a Democrat brand. It's just old Joe. That's just Joe. The Democrats seem to be perfectly fine with stupidity at the highest levels of their party. And how about, I love this. You know, Obama is drawing smaller and smaller crowds everywhere he's going. And so you know what they're saying? Oh, we're doing it on purpose. We are intentionally limiting the crowd size at our rallies. Washington Times. Last week, the presumptive GOP presidential, vice presidential nominees, Romney and Ryan, are attracting thousands of supporters to their rallies since Romney named Ryan to the ticket. The Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee has taken notice of these big crowds, and they sent out urgent emails to their supporters. And we read you one of those emails last week. They're very concerned about the small crowd sizes for Obama and the big crowd sizes for Romney and Ryan. New York Times is reporting that the Obama campaign saying that it is intentionally limiting crowd size at their events because of security and cost. And the next thing they're going to tell us is that they are intentionally reducing the amount of money that they are raising. Jen Psaki, or Psaki, P-S-A-K-I, campaign spokesbabe for Obama. Yeah, we got plenty of time for big rallies. Our focus right now is on exciting our supporters and winning over undecided voters. And the smaller and medium-sized events are the best venue to accomplish that, because the president can then closely engage the crowd. These big rallies, they're expensive, especially given the logistical and security challenges for a president as opposed to a mere senator. And Obama campaign operatives, both at the Chicago headquarters and in swing states, where Obama has recently stumped, say the campaign intentionally limits crowds by restricting the number of tickets available. And the reason is to allow the president to better connect with supporters. And, of course, this is reported with an utterly straight face. Oh, there's nothing to see here. These small crowds, that's what we want. Damn straight. We want, well, what else are they going to say? That Obama and Biden are failures? Are they going to say, yeah, we're having a problem. People just aren't excited by the president anymore. And, the circus act that Biden used to be, people have they've seen it now. It's not a big deal. So there's no longer all this excitement. Are they going to say that? No. So they have to say there's too much enthusiasm. There's so much enthusiasm, we have to limit the size of the crowd at Obama rallies. But the bottom line is the Obama fad is over. All of this hope and change and all of this messianic stuff, all of this that attached itself to Obama in 2008 is over. It's done with. And they are in trouble. And I don't care. Aiken isn't going to change that. Whatever Aiken does or doesn't do isn't going to change the dismal economic situation that we have that is the direct result of Obama's policies. I am still chuckling here over this e-book that the Politico has put out with Random House, and that passage that one of the two things really irritating Obama is his concern that Romney's going to get credit for the eventual economic recovery if Romney wins. There isn't going to be an economic recovery if Obama wins. The only way there's going to be a recovery is if Obama loses and Romney wipes out a bunch of economic policies that are currently in place, and if we repeal Obamacare. Otherwise, there isn't going to be a recovery as we've known them in the past. It's laughable for Obama to actually sit. We're talking about stupidity, which seems to be the theme of the day. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, it is blatantly stupid if the President of the United States thinks that just sitting there doing nothing after what he's already done, there's going to be some magical economic recovery, and it's going to happen next year or the year after that. If he really believes that, and I bet he does, because I don't think he has the slightest idea of how economic activity actually takes place, private sector activity, growth, I don't think he understands it. I know he hates it. I know he despises it. But I don't think he knows how it happens. I think he thinks it's an accident. And somehow people that don't deserve to do well end up doing well, and that's what has to change. Anyway, let me take a brief time out. We'll continue. Be back before you know it. Don't go away.